Beloved ones, many people desire to be free from financial fears and worry. Many people desire to obtain material things and the status that they feel will manifest through owning those possessions. Many have a continuous relationship with these desires that keeps them bound to this earth and tied to the objects of their desires. And living in a perpetual state of unfulfilled desires robs them of the light energy they require for their actual soul freedom in the light. The Master Jesus proclaimed that the greatest among us must be the servant of all. He recognized that through surrender to God's will and through a desire to be of service to all life, disciples can obtain the true riches that they seek, as well as the spiritual freedom that comes as a reward for their selflessness and givingness. I am El Morya. I have shared that a divine economy is based on the divine principles of freedom and the holy values of righteousness. When each individual spiritual aspirant engages in the science of service and the art of surrender to a higher cause, society benefits by these choices. The path to true riches is always through loving service and kindness expressed in ways great and small. When one gives to another through an empathic and compassionate heart, a sacred exchange takes place at the level of the Christ consciousness, who is the mediator betwixt heaven and earth. There is a release of divine light that blesses the giver and the receiver through all acts of genuine, selfless charity. And these creative sparks of grace and loveliness are themselves co-creative of a higher order of life and a subtler spiritual state of being within all involved. Muse for a moment with me on how you feel when you give with no desire for acknowledgement or for any personal recompense or reward. Your own heart is hallowed in that moment of inner gratitude and joy that someone else has been both served and blessed through you. The feeling of extending grace or relief for another is reward enough. And then you are able to carry that special essence forward to use as an inspiration for even more noble acts of ministration and service. Meditate with me now on these concepts and broadcast the feeling in your heart to all beings upon earth, especially those who may be living in a seemingly endless cycle and state of lack and need, of want and depression. Enfold them in the joy of our collective God presence and see their higher self blessing and caressing them with heavenly light and glory. Even if they do not receive, in this case, a material gift, the spiritual offering of heart-centered love will still leave its Akashic mark to encourage and raise and free these souls from various earthly limitations and potentially even their economic slavery and bondage. The path of liberation is a path of joy and inner happiness. When physical, emotional, and mental needs are first met, the soul feels free to pursue its spiritual freedom in the light. Those who give to provide others surcease from distress and suffering are likewise raised as if by angel wings to enjoy the higher fruits of the Spirit in their inner Christic and solar bodies of light. Seek your true fortune in God, blessed ones. Access divine abundance through a path of constancy and devotion and steadfastness in giving. Giving your all every day. The results of your unseen charity will accrue to provide you with ever more refined gifts of the Spirit, through which you will obtain your immortal freedom in the light. God is within you. All divine riches are inside of you. The kingdom of perfection, accessed through the joy of loving service, is won through your inner life, consecrated to your source, the all-providential one, God. Go for it, blessed ones. This is how you will secure your true financial independence and eternal freedom. I thank you. Reflecting a little bit upon what El Morya has shared in this Heartstream, which he titles The Path to True Riches Through Service. I think that we can attune to what it was like to hear Jesus say these words to his disciples, that the greatest among you must be the servant of all. We read in the scriptures that there was a little bit of a competition between some of the disciples to see who would have the highest station vis-a-vis the Master. And Jesus, observing this dynamic and some of the interchanges between the disciples and maybe their egos getting in the way, brought forth the perfect message to them that it was not about status, it was not about who sat on his left hand or his right hand or who got the first fruits of the Spirit here and there. The greatest among them would be the servant of all. How does this occur? When we give and give and give, we know that we receive. And part of what we receive is manifest as spiritual gifts and graces. And these gifts and graces are meant to help us to give more, to serve more, to bless more, to raise more, to free souls, because these gifts provide divine stimuli and impeti to help people to be free in the light. So all the gifts that we receive in our heart center as blessings from the Masters are meant to impel us to give more and to serve more, and by this we gain greater attainment. Not that we desire to be thought well of, simply that we desire to be of greater service and to help many, many more people. Our staff are so giving and selfless that they have gotten the message. And you too, heart friends, those who broadcast, those who attend services, you know that when you receive the light through your givingness, it multiplies within you the opportunity to give more. And this is a part of the dynamic of your personal divine economy. Your personal divine economy is all wrapped up in the gifts of the Spirit that you have accessed through your loving and giving service to others. Your adoration of God, your devotion to the divine, your own mighty I Am God presence, or we call it the solar presence at times, your attention upon what is true and real and divine and beautiful and perfect, focusing on the highest aspects of life itself and light. And through immersing yourself in the light, you then receive the blessings of that light, and then you are able to give more light, provide more light to others, inspire them, enlighten them, empower them to be who they are, encourage them to be true to their inner self. So these Tuesdays with Moria on the divine economy and the divine economy within America and the world ultimately come back to our own personal responsibility and accountability to righteously use the energy vouchsafed to us economically, authoritatively, yet with great thrift, so that we make the best use of what God has provided us. And by doing this, we rise naturally into our higher selfhood, and we are blessed in this dynamic, and we really do not seek any other station or power or means of co-opting anything to wield influence in this world. We know that the influence that we desire is simply to reach into heaven and to draw forth those graces and to offer them to others. So the path to true riches is through service. And by that we become great in the eyes of God, in order to glorify God, magnify God's eternal kingdom here upon earth. We don't desire a kingdom upon earth in which to wield elements of the human ego, because we know that is fleeting. And all the conquerors and all the kings and queens and those who sought power and authority over men eventually lose in the end, unless they consecrate what they do toward the most noble and pure cause, which is divine righteousness, and to be of service by being attuned to their own God reality and to help others to reach their God plan. So thank you for realizing this eternal truth and working assiduously to expand God's kingdom through your loving service. your righteous givingness. It all accrues to your causal body. Nothing is really lost. Every givingness is seen by the angels of record, the recording angels, who work with Akasha to impress upon that subtle fabric of divine substance the record of your givingness, and it's there in your own personal book of life. And when you pass from the screen of life and you go through that tunnel or whatever, and you have your life review, you will see how you have been impactful in helping others through every sacred offering. And that will be reward enough. The feeling of love and appreciation and gratitude from heaven and God and the angels and the masters for how much you have sacrificed, surrendered, and selflessly striven to give of yourself. This is the Ruby Ray path. And remember Jesus' other statement that greater love hath no man than this, that a man or woman lay down his or her life for his or her friends. Greater love hath no man than this, that a man lay down his life for his friends. And in that laying down of the life energies of selfhood, we give and serve in the highest order. And we are blessed in the alchemy of that givingness. I've been very aware from the foundation of the Heart Center, those who come because I see into the hearts of those whose motive is pure, to be of service, and those who desire status, desire to get close to me in order to be thought well of, or for influence, for power, or whatever. The selfless ones always last. They always last. They will reach the mark. They will be victorious. They will win their ascension. And you know who you are, because by and large, the ones who last are the selfless ones. Some come and go, and maybe their mission is not always to be in the Heart Center, and that's fine. We don't judge them. All I'm saying is that the people that last are the selfless ones because they surrender the human ego in the process of giving. And then they can give more and more, and they feel good about giving because it's God in them that's doing the giving. So thank you for allowing the God within you to give, to serve, and to be selfless, because you know that you are not the doer. God in you is the doer, because you've allowed God into your life, into the center of your life, and you live in a heart-centered way. Your givingness comes from the pure motive of being a blesser and an authentic disciple of the Word, of the Christ, of the light. And in your givingness and in your love, your true service shines. Your true heart soars. Your mindfulness is evident to everyone. And the righteousness shines in and through your aura. I see it. I behold it. It's true. It's real. It's easy to witness to those who have so much light, so much love, that they glow. And this is what we desire in our movement, the glowing ones. Those who allow the Holy Spirit energies of love to flow through them, and by allowing that to flow, they naturally glow. So I'll leave it there. Thank you, Helen. You are one of these. And when no one else is available to broadcast, who steps up to the plate? You. So you've hit many home runs, and we just thank you for being there in Detroit again and again and again. Dear soul, we love you, and good evening. Bye-bye.